live. So, sorry, first episode here is going to take a little bit of doing. There is a channel by the same name as us. Ours is the light version, right? L-I-T-E. You can find Plight of Oob on another YouTube channel, same name. But until then, this is our first session. We have our 4 characters here: Hacksaw, Bellamy, Subir, and Grendwin. I will upload the live stream from our 8-person group that we did just before this as our introduction video. So, to get back into it, you guys just all introduced yourselves, and we got taken over to this side room where we're at now. The man with the amethyst eyes who led you away, he does explain that he is a dragon himself. In fact, all the humans here with these colorful eyes, or any creature for that matter, it seems to be a quirk of the dragons that when they change their forms like this, they shapeshift into whatever form, they keep the eye color from their dragon heritage. So, he brings you in, you all take a seat and introduce himself. Hello, June, man, you have the loudest keyboard. That's fair, that's fair. Oh, that does remind me. Did everybody get into our group note thing? Cool, cool. We can figure that out after too if we need to. But that's fair. Regardless, okay, so he sits you down, introduces himself. Hello, my name is Amethyst. You're probably getting pretty confused with all of us being named the same thing, but you don't have to worry about that. We know who we're talking about. So welcome to the world of Oob. We've been around for just over 2,000 years now, and I know a lot of you are concerned about being here. I am here to not reassure you, unfortunately. You're stuck here. We've had a lot of other worlders in the past trying to leave the world, and it's just, we haven't found a possible way to help them out. Other than that, I suppose I can open the room to questions to start us off. No questions? Ah, yes. So you 4 are going to be under the Chromatic dragons, and I have a little starting task to get you there. Well, I'm glad you asked. So for the time being, let's say probably 3 days, if I remember correctly, there will be a caravan that's going to the dragon capital, the Chromatic capital. Yes, 3 days in the city. There's not much to do here, unfortunately, in the time being, but you will have that time to yourselves. You can stay here in the barracks in the meantime. We've just been calling it Amethyst Capital. Yes. Yeah, so you specifically, when you came in, and I can actually, now that we're just the 4 of us, a little less confusing. Let's see, Grendwin came into a snowy mountainside on her portal before she was teleported to the capital. Subir, he was inside a grand cavern with gemstones lining the walls. Bellamy came into a swamp, and Hacksaw came into a small island, small enough that you could see either end. And again, that's where you were first introduced to somebody who looked just like you. They didn't have amethyst colored eyes. They had, if I remember right, emerald eyes. But yeah, they introduced themselves. What's that? Hacksaw came in on a small island. Yeah, so they basically did a brief what just happened, introduction, and sent you over to the capital. And we're here now. We are under a gold standard, so the typical for us. I don't know how it was on your worlds, but yes, copper, silver, and gold is going to be what we're using. There are platinum in the world, but it's a little more rare. They'll be fine. Yes, two separate things. Okay, well, there is a forest all outside the city in our territory here. Every kingdom has some sort of forest, I suppose, but I think you'll be pleased to know that your caravan will be traveling through the forest to get to the docks, so that's fun. We don't usually have entertainment that may be interesting. Yes, I do apologize. We do have taverns, though. I think you'll find that taverns are plentiful in our large city here, though. We do have a market as well if you want to go shopping, possibly. Oh yes, you should be able to find whatever you need in the market. Certainly could try. You'll have plenty of time to get to know each other on the caravan trip. For sure. So, let me just get straight down to it. And then that's when he pulls out a letterbox and sets it in the middle of the table. There are 5 Great Wyrm dragons in the Chromatic territory. Well, for each of our territories, I suppose. The 5 you'll be dealing with are currently at war with each other. Now, usually the war doesn't affect otherworlders unless they are pledged to the Chromatic Dragons themselves. We are hoping to change that. So, within this letterbox here, we have 6 envelopes. 5 envelopes and a scroll, we'll say. And then he kind of pulls them out one by one and lays them out just so you can see what you're dealing with here. They're wax sealed envelopes. There are 5 envelopes. The wax seals are the color of the dragon that they're supposed to be going to. And then just a scroll on top, which he further goes into explanation, saying that the scroll is a treaty that we have documented for the dragons, that we hope they can find a way to come together and unify their kingdom. A bit of history about our kingdoms. The Chromatic dragons have a very long history up to this point of being at war with each other. But beyond that, they are also at war with the Metallic dragons. So you can imagine that they are in significant more danger being not unified, such as the Metallics. Well, hopefully you can convince them of that. And that's all we ask. So all we're asking you to do here today is to deliver the letter to each Great Wyrm so that they may choose what they want to do for their future. And as an advance for this, he pulls out some gemstones of amethyst variety and hands one to each of you. Yes, it is true, I did say that. But this has a value of about 10 gold pieces. Just consider it capital to start your adventure here today. Or 3 days, I suppose. He seems to be a bit all over the place, but he gets you what you need. Oh, yes, of course. Of course. There are plenty of places in the market street for you to visit. So you can go to the nearby taverns, you can go shopping. Your barracks are here in this Capitol building. Just be sure that you reach the caravan in 3 days. Oh, I have yet to see another of your kind today. No, not in any of the recent time. Well, usually the dragon type, as such we are, can communicate to each other. As far as what you otherworlders do, it's totally up to you. And then you should see in Foundry under the journal entries, there should be a, I'm going to organize this a little more. This was before we copied the world, but you should be able to find a gem letterbox in there. He wraps it up. Okay. How about... Yeah, there should be a green one. Sure, I can mess with it in the background here, but he wraps it up, gets the letterbox all together, and says, who wants to carry it? Alright, so he starts to wrap it up. He'll open it to any last questions here before he lets you go, but he does remind you, with a memory of his, he says you should be looking for a Zara Firestride, and she will be at the city gates here in 3 days with a caravan of people ready to go. Yeah, Z-A-R-A, Firestride. And she is... I wrote this down. I promise you. What sort of... Yeah. That's a good point. That's a really good point. Ah, here we go. She's also a human, but he assures you she is not a dragon. Yes, of course. Cool. So you all stand up to leave, and he kind of comes to a memory. He's like, oh, yes. A couple more things, I guess. Sorry, I'm very all over the place today. He shows you this map of the world, points out to the right here in the red, this very large, I guess, castle keep. This is the lava capital. You should know that the chromatic dragons find it very offensive to be referred to by their color. So we have the lava, the storm, the forest, the swamp, and the frost dragons. I may update your notes on that later because I don't have them directly. Oh, good, good. Yeah, so you are going to end up in the red capital here, in the lava capital, looking for Neltharion. He's going to, being the largest of the different colors, whether they like it or not, they are colored. He'll hopefully be able to bring them together and provide you some direction when you arrive. Okay, well, be on your way. I don't actually have a tavern map, but Theater of the Minds, roleplay stuff. Yes, yeah. So this is decoration, but these the dragons in the gem capital, they like to take the human form. So rarely you'll see a full-fledged dragon flying around here. But yeah, that's what they would look like. I guess if we were to call that one flying around, that would probably be either ancient or Great Wyrm. Yeah, sure. So you guys walk up to the nearest, what we can find as a tavern. We're going to call it the Emerald Fane Avenue. That's the nearest one you could find, finding some directions from passerbys. You walk in, and there's let's say 6 tables around. Those are like booths. There's a few tables in the middle, and a large bar for you to go up to. There's a human man behind it, normal colored eyes, that greets you. Ah, yes, hail and good day. What can I get you? He has a small menu. It's basically just beer, mead, and some wines. So the beer's 5 copper, the mead is a silver, and wine is going to be 2 silver. Because yes, absolutely. So you can go ahead and change your character sheet appropriately. Ooh, you know what? Here, this is what he has. I don't know if I can put this right into Foundry. I'm sure I can. Boom, blam. We will do this and save. Configure all players, observer, save changes. There. So in your notes tab there, you should see a menu. And this is going to be food. We'll stick with the usual prices that I mentioned before as well. Good, glad it works. Well, typically typically these things pair very well together, but if you would like to change, that is your prerogative. Yeah, sure, absolutely. So that will be 2 silver and 5 copper.
Number 6. Dried mutton and bitter cheese, tankard or bitter.
How many silver in a gold? It's sometimes 10, sometimes 5. I just want to make sure.
It's 10.
It's 10? Okay. And copper is 10 as well?
Yes.
Our electrum is 5?
Yes, but we're not going to use electrum.
Okay. Thanks. So it's 2 silver and 5 copper?
Right.
Okay.
What just happened to my headset?
Good sir, very interested in number 2, the steamed shark with cardamom, panna bread, the glass of gin. I do enjoy gin, and please a glass of beer and a glass of mead and a glass of wine, please.
Cool, I hope you did the math for all that.
Yeah, I got it.
Great.
4 silver and 5 copper.
Well, the character is able to take that order no problem and whip out a price for you.
Simultaneously, I look around the place at a group of young, energetic, fun-loving individuals. I bring them the 3 extra.
Okay, cool. Absolutely. So that will be 1 silver and 6 copper pieces. Oh, 1 silver and 6 copper. Oh, okay. Sure. Absolutely. And I will mention too that I don't have any events in the town. This is just kind of your time to get rowdied up, get to know each other, um, find information, whatever you want to do before your trip here in 3 days. Nope, not this time. We are not starting in a tavern. We are starting on a caravan. Sure, so some basic information, I suppose. There is the marketplace. I guess that would be a good time to point out under your actors here. You guys should be able to see the under the capital folder. Let's see, merchants, capital. Those 4 people are going to be the shops here, and you should be able to just pop them open and use the $sign to buy stuff from them. And hopefully that works okay. So under the actor sheet where you would find your character sheet, should be paid monsters, merchants, capital, or possibly capital. I'm not sure what you guys see exactly. That checks. Sure. Yeah, you should be able to sell things in the market. So you'll have to do that manually. Just take whatever the price of whatever it is and then half it. It's fine for now. Nobody mentioned it. Let's roll. Let's roll something for it. Maybe some people around the tavern here know. Let's roll. Let's just do a charisma. Keep it real simple to start out here. I suppose whoever wants to know. You should be able. Can you guys open your actor sheets? I mean, I can unpause it. It's not a big deal. Okay. Yeah, so this, you found out some information. This caravan apparently is a thing that happens every few months, and you're basically just in time to catch it. It goes there and comes back, and that's kind of the trail that's set. Basically, yeah. There may be people in the caravan who have extras, but you don't know yet. Does nobody have rations? Super. I will add some rations to the general store here. It'll just take me a minute. Sure. Okay. In No, that's fair. Is there a specific herb you're looking for, or just herbs in general to work with that kit? Sure, sure. That could definitely be some worthy information. Yeah, yeah. You head over there. They do have things for sale, very basic herbs, if you will. Let's say like common 5 copper. Some more rare stuff, about a silver each. Right. What are you trying to purchase? For the herbs thing, I'll come up with a better way to do it, but for now, let's just do like just 5 copper, just so you have some sort of material and you can create an item on there. And we'll get back to that outside the session on how we want to do it. Alright, so you can't buy things. Has anybody else tried to buy things? Okay. So which shop are we looking at? Right, I need to do that too. Sure. Do you have rations in your bag right now? Yeah. I'm pretty sure rations are what, like a copper or something? Let's see. Yeah, it does look like they're 5 silver per day, so... Yeah, that's fine. Until I can find this, but... What else we got? Other questions? Other things? I think it... Yeah, I think it depends on your background. Yeah. There we go. I added rations to the general store. Mm-hmm. I mean, your mic's cutting out a little bit, so I didn't catch that at all, but... Right. I'm gonna say no for today, and I'm going to look more into it. And it's a clever thing to do, and I want to reward that type of thinking, but that changes things mechanically pretty significantly. Well, I can point out that I'm sure one of they should have closed them. Yeah, that's fine. You do recall, though, that most of the other worlders, they're wearing basically whatever they came in. I would say Traveler's Clothes is probably the most common thing. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Say there's a very highly skilled tailor here, being the, Great. But yeah, we'll call it, since this is like the focal point that all the other worlders begin in, I think it's fair to say there's a tailor here that can get you what you need. Size be danged. Now for our skilled tailor. I mean, sure. Actually, here, let's, do that. Pop, 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 pop. Here, let's try that, huh? Noted. Yeah, I haven't used merchants before, so learning. You can sell it to one of these people. It's worth 10. Anybody will take it, and they can trade it between themselves. Here, specifically. Now, that could be harder to do in smaller cities. Just point that out. For a gemstone like that, especially here, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's perfect. Interesting. So it sounds like a way for Grung to communicate with each other, mostly. Oh. It's like a written kind of thing, right? Does it even have any? You should only have one, too. If one of you take it, it should delete it, I believe. Yeah, dude, this dude's literally got a stick with some holes in it, and he's like, who wants it? And he tells you this story about grungs, these creatures that you've never heard of. They're like, oh yeah, this talks to grungs, bro. Trust me. What a guy. Sure. What a guy. He's just like, excuse me, sir. No, get out of my face. Yeah, something like that. Sounds right. The general store, man. It's Blooper. Yeah. So these are kind of placeholders. He's going to be your... That's who has it. You might be able to find it in a different city, but he's not going to guarantee anything. No arrows, huh? What a jerk. Well, now I know where I can find them. Boom. Arrows. And got bolts. I added some just now. They should be in there if you want to refresh it or whatever. Yeah, he can whip together a little whip for you. Let's see. These were all... Look, man, I'm super busy. I'm going to put it under the adventure. Yeah, that's fine. It's half price. Well, it came with your class, regardless your race, so... Did you sell your crystal for 10 gold? Oh, quit spending so much money. I don't know what to tell you, man. Oh, not if it's on here. Not that specifically. The other things were pretty basic stuff, but... I'll have to try and figure out where that came from then. Well, I don't know where it came from. Maybe that's supposed to maybe that's supposed to be your herbs. Yeah, no, that's a pretty big deal. So I'm just going to put in parentheses on it. Yeah, yeah. I think so. If you don't know where it came from, I don't know where it came from. Should be down there. I can drag him over though if you'd like. Should be what, 1 gold per 20, I believe. Yeah, 1 gold for 20 arrows. I can drag. I'll drag some onto your sheet for you. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's kind of rudimentary for them to have less than like potions of healing. They're snobby like that. Yeah, and I'm not going to rush you guys through it, but once you're ready to go, we'll skip up to the cavern and move through. Okay. Wow. Let's see. Oop. Did I say cavern? Caravan. Cool. Make sure we're paying attention to the weight and stuff too. Yeah. Yeah, I would hope so, right? But I don't know, maybe you got gold tipped arrows. Oh my gosh. Sorry guys, I changed scenes. There, now you should be able to. It's gonna be forest, so I mean, I don't know. No, forest, that's what I said, but region specific. Okay. Sure. Let's see. I'll put some different clothes options on Blooper here, since we tapped them out. Oh no. What happens? Not sure what happened there, but everybody just got kicked for a moment. Oh, it's good now, but my stream just like kicked everybody off. We're good now, I think. Yeah, that's definitely what it is. Plate mail should be like super expensive. Are you guys ready to move on to the caravan? You can debate that in your own time. Whoa, you want to use dragon skin for your armor? Alright, so 3 days pass. 3 days pass, you get plenty of rest, you spend your time in the taverns, all that fun stuff. Just, nah, you're fine. Don't worry about it. Who? What happened? Am I? Oh well. Yeah. Oh well. Trying to get the streamer to work here. Disconnects every now and then. Yeah, so I mean, feel free to walk around and chat or whatever. You guys head out towards the outside of the city gates here. You find Zara immediately at the head of the caravan here. Right. She beckons you over. She offers you the job as guards for the caravan on the adventure if you would like. I do have a little bit of information on these characters. I'm just trying to fix the stream. I've got information for all of them. It's not a ton of information, but I got some. This isn't... Oh no. I can't answer that, at least. Everybody you ask has no idea what you're talking about. Were you a furbolg, right? You're the only one that they've seen. Come on, baby. Why? So, to be fair, everybody here is also otherworlders that you guys quickly find out, just chatting everybody up before we leave here. The most knowledgeable, of course, would be Zara. She's taken this path several times by now. She does mention there are herbs and things through the forest that you could forage for. With a nature check, I'm sure. But other than that, everybody else is brand new world for them. Here we go. Sure. Looks like a 16 to me. You see where that showed the 16? Yeah, chat and then rolls. You should see the 16. Yeah, so you're able to find some basic necessities. We'll say herbs times, well, I don't know, 5. And then we'll put a price on those later. Let's put a silver each on them. And then one a little more rare, we'll say 1 gold piece, speckled mushroom or something. And you can just jot that down in your character sheet, those things. Yeah, just the herbs again. Yeah, 5 of them, 1 silver each, sorry. It's very concerning to me that I can't get our streamer to work correctly. Sure. Yeah. So she greets you when you walk up. She goes, yes, welcome. Looks like you're the last we need to get started here. Say if you'd be interested. I do have a job. We need a few more guards for the caravan on our trip. How does that sound? Well, the wilderness can be dangerous. Not necessarily attacks. It'll probably be fine. But just in case there is, we'd like to have some people to fall back on. I would offer 20 gold apiece for our guards. Well, it takes every couple months, but there could be some giant spiders and wolves on the way. Guess we'll something new every month. I swear, it's crazy. Oh no, not that we've had to deal with. She does introduce two other guards. They'll be the ones next to the horses. Malik, Goliath Barbarian, and Nisa, a Tiefling Ranger. Just try to stay together. It's a long journey through the wilderness. Anything could happen. It's going to be about 4 weeks to get to the next town, and then 2 weeks after that to get to the docks. Once we get on the ship, it should be probably about another week or so at sea before we get to the lava dragon territory. Oh yes. Oh yes, you didn't need to buy your own food. Yeah. Well, I assure you, we have plenty of food to go around for the journey. Yes, I like 14 gold for that many rations. Oh yes, it's going to be a grand old time. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm going to, all right? Go ahead and give yourself DM inspiration. And then so she smiles at you, but she doesn't speak. She just strums a couple strings there and nods in your direction. Give me 1 second. My stream keeps dropping, you guys, and I cannot for the life of me figure out why. Oop. There you go. There we go. Yeah, we're going to travel most of the day, camp at night. Your caravan specifically is going to be the second one. Everybody's kind of assigned their own. It's got plenty of bunk space in it. The carts have supplies being pulled by oxen, as you can see. Oh. What? One last thing that Tabaxi does too, since she didn't speak, she took out like a... Well, we'll have her strum it. She strums words into the air, saying Seraph Bright Song. That's Seraph. She nods, but at this time she doesn't have anything else for you. Okay. Let's see. So, detect magic wise, you will get something off of the third wagon, the fourth wagon, the fifth, and the sixth. Right. Generally, outside of that, though, the area around you doesn't seem to light up any specifically. It's just mixed. It's just a very, very general sense, such as like a magic user, we'll say. Yeah, well, they're not doing magic, they're just their magic type. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. let's take a 10-minute break because I have to go to the bathroom, and we will pick it up there, starting on our journey. Cool. What's up, everybody? Yes. Great. So I fixed our viewers map. I figured out it was wrong. It was part of the cloning the world. So that's fixed now, so our viewers can actually see what we're talking about. This is our caravan. All right. So we chatted up everybody in the caravan. We became some guards here with promise of pay at the end of the journey. And we set out. So we're going to do this probably week by week here. The first week, nothing very eventful happens. It's pretty safe. You stay in the caravan at night. I do have a map if once we get to it, but some of the other caravan members here start voicing concerns about their choices. You overhear a few questions that go unanswered. You know, are these woods really as dangerous as the gems claim? Will our guards be strong enough to defend the caravan, if so needed? Will the chromatic dragons accept everyone into their kingdom? Other comments are brought up, but it's basically if they've made the right choice. Do they want to be under the dragon rule, or maybe the wilderness is better, dangerous as it may be? Wagon 6 seems to be the biggest ones in doubt, bringing up the rear. Yeah. Sure, so over the course of the week, you get to know these people a little more. You find out their names. We have Rorik. He is an orc fighter. Soren. Soren is a guy's name. He is a tiefling warlock. We have a Minotaur navigator. Her name is Vita. And they've kind of just grouped up together, you know, they're sleeping together, whatnot. Not like that. They're sharing a caravan, wagon here, so they seem to be under the same headspace. They don't think the dragon rule is right for them, and they're thinking about trailing off here one of these days. Oh, they don't make it clear. Absolutely. So the chromatic dragons, they believe that everybody should be free, but kind of under their protection. I actually have a little blurb written about it if I can find it here. Let's see. All right. So you would have learned this back in the gem capital, but the metallics believe that the world should be united under them, pledging allegiance to the great metallic gods, being the platinum dragon, ideally. The chromatics, on the other hand, believe that everyone should live freely, but if they want aid from the dragons that they're under, they should pay them a tribute. And the gems think that everyone should live freely, but they want basically nothing to do with the other worlders. They want to send them off to the other two kingdoms. Basically, yeah. and every time you play a little, I don't know, music, this tabaxi seems to join you. Yeah, it seems like the Chromatic Kingdom is the most common to bring Otherworlders. If you want to, their like protection though, you're supposed to, what's the term? Like fealty to them. Not sure what the term is off the top of my head. Right. The wilderness and people who didn't agree to that type of thing. All right, so that takes care of the first week. The second week, as you're traveling along, I gotta find it. I lost my place. So the people are quieter. Let's do a performance check with advantage for your guys' performance throughout the week. No. We'll see what the general. No, you definitely are rolling. Well, your first one was a dirty 20, so definitely plenty there. So with a solid dirty 20 here, the spirits of the caravan are high. They seem to be getting into the idea that they'll be part of the Chromatic Kingdom. It seems like everybody has a place that they're thinking of going to. Everybody except that sixth wagon, of course. They seem to be kind of trailing further and further beyond. Like every day it passes, they're a little further behind. Does anybody want to do anything for the week? You're looking for some magical people? Yeah, sure. Sure. Sounds good. Let's see. I do not have any wizards for you. best to talk with that would probably be Wagon 3. We've learned that we have a priest there and a sorcerer. Their names are Ilara and Kai. Kai seems to be the type who, when you guys are doing your fun musical shows to keep the spirits up, he likes to add to the show with dazzling displays of magic. He's currently using a shield and a spear. But beyond that, he doesn't want to give too much about his information away. Okay. So it looks like we have, let's see. So Wagon 3, we've got a blacksmith. He wants to, his name is Cedric. He wants to, oh, okay, sure. Cool, because that would take a lot more time. Yeah, so the people in the back, they seem to have formed a little group that want to basically hack it on their own. They've got a magic user who, the tiefling, doesn't seem to want to give too much away about themselves, but you can tell that they're a magic user. And then we have our fighter, and the Minotaur is a female. She seems to be a little more talkative. She's where you're getting most of your information from. She's a navigator. She just kind of wants to map out the world. Not necessarily. Everybody just seems kind of at a neutral standpoint, at least in the caravan currently. Sure. Let's see. So the orc, he's not going to follow anybody. He seems like a man to himself. Lone Ranger, if you will. The tiefling, let's do a persuasion check for the tiefling. That's going to be the one that you can tell they're magical, but they're not really giving much away. Should I even roll against that? Let's be honest. Yeah, right? Yeah, no, I can't beat that. So, the tiefling is... They're a warlock. And I keep saying what everybody is. We're going to call that more meta, because it's going to help us understand what people are, but your characters aren't going to know what these races are without first asking and being like, oh yeah, that's cool. But it's also been a couple weeks. They would have found out this information by now. So the tiefling, it's a warlock. He doesn't mention his patron at all, just that his power is borrowed from something greater. As far as the Minotaur, she doesn't seem to follow anyone as well. She just wants to travel and see more of the world. Yeah, absolutely. The orc, I feel like the orc and the minotaur are the easiest to explain. The one wants to travel, so that's what she wants to do, is travel around. These guys seem to also want to get around, so she's kind of huddling up with them. The orc almost seems like he wants to prove himself, so he may find his way to some dangerous battles and get out of the safety of the cities. Whereas the warlock, he's very hard to read, almost as if something else is talking to him to influence his decisions. Nah, no, you're fine. What? Do you have an idea? Word. Sure. I mean, they're keeping their distance, but they're not like out of earshot. So you could just hang out by the fifth wagon. Cool. So far, you don't sense any danger from them. All right. So end of the week, it gets to be nighttime here. Gonna hop into our first camp night scene. Sure. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. Very solid. Alrighty. So we're to our first night here. Let's see what we get. Alright, so as you're traveling here the last day, thick webs start appearing around all the trees, and the caravan master pauses and she warns the group, let's try to stay closer together for this next week. And when we all get through it, we'll take an extra rest at a tavern that she just knows is coming up here. Keep an eye out for each other. Don't leave the caravan. If someone goes off on their own, consider them lost. And then we take a short little break here at the night. Yep. I mean, you would know what your spider can do. I think that's fine. I just don't have a creature for a spider right now. No, it's a good plan. I will keep that noted. We do have the 2 extra guards as well. So, yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah. No, I mean, nothing serious goes on tonight. Just kind of our first little caravan scene night here. Okay. That sounds fair to me. I'm just messing with the next scene here, making sure it's set up correctly. Yeah, we'll say you do it once every week. We're saying nature check for that. Yeah, go ahead and do your nature check. Yeah. That'll be at like the end of the week, so 2 are good. No, go ahead and triple it for now. I may edit how we do this in the future, but for now that's fine. Scene isn't loading how I wanted it to, but that's fine. We'll make it work. I suppose I can make it nighttime. Or dark in the shadows of the woods. You could probably make bandages out of it. Okay. Yeah, make another spot for it. You guys will have to tell me how this views for you. Probably nothing. So you got a whole ton of it, but yeah, not worth it. Can you guys see the whole map or no? Yeah. Ideally, I didn't want you to see the whole map. I might have to deal with that, but it's not a big deal. So, let me read what we got here. Alright, so the next day, there's noises heard from the woods. Some travelers mention how they feel like they're being watched. No, like they're being hunted. Up ahead, the guide announces that there's a wreckage seen blocking the path. You guys continue to approach as she gets up there, but the spider that's walking around vanishes. As the spider vanishes, well, we'll have it to where the familiar spider, they vanish from your connection, and then she lets you know, the guide lets you all know that there's the wreckage before she lets off a cut-off scream. She's like, ah! At this. So the spider blinked out of existence from your connection. Okay. So shortly after that short little scream is heard, the next thing you guys notice are many giant spiders that appear all around the area. Spiders, I know, who would have guessed, right? take good notes on what everybody's doing here, because we probably won't have time for this fight. But to kind of wrap it up, one of the guards rides up to you guys before all this crazy confusion's going on. They say, somebody needs to go down and save the guide. If we don't have a guide, we're never going to get out of here. So now you guys are left with a choice. Go down for the guide or stay back and fight. He does try to reassure you that we can hold them off. But you're not too sure about that. He would have been way back on the path. You wouldn't have time to run back and peer. Okay, so is it a consensus that we're going down the hole then? Okay. Yeah, and of course, like you were saying, it's not like these people are totally, completely defenseless. Everybody will defend themselves. There may be some casualties, but I guess we'll find out. Alright. So for funsies, go ahead and move your tokens on the hole here. Yeah. There's a hole where your guide was. Let me pop over there so that our stream can see it. Yeah, all your tokens should be accurate. You're seeing what you're seeing. Can you guys see all this map too? Is it... Can you guys just see like the area? Like if you zoom out a bunch, is it all black outside this? Okay, okay. Cool, 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 cool. Good, good, good. Perfect. Yeah, this should be appropriate. You guys should be able to see, like... Yeah. But it's all black, though. Okay, so... This is what I want to try before we end it up, right? If you have torches, you should be able to right-click your token and click the little fire in the top left. Yeah, so that lights your torch. Cool. So I am going to wrap it up for our stream, and then we'll just stay after here for like 10 minutes or so. But this was our first session. It's about time, right? This will get better as we go, obviously. First session back after a long hiatus. I will get when we were all together just before this, I'll get a video for that to upload to the channel. So whatever prospective viewers we have aren't like super confused. Awesome. Okay. Well, I'm going to wrap up the stream, and I can see you all on the Discord here in a moment to just talk after. All right. Thanks, everybody.